Aren't you wanting to do a live broadcast?
Yeah, we are.
Okay. Jumping
It's 420 time on the Ohio Cannabis Institute. Welcome. Which one do you want to go live with first? This one?
I don't care. You're...
All right, we're going to do that. Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the 420 Cheeky About a Bong report here with Sir Alan and Fred. Welcome, Sir Alan.
Hey guys, how we doing out there in the land of Oz? Forgive me here, I have my glasses on. I wear contacts normally, and I popped a contact out last night. So I didn't bother to put one back in this one, let my eyes take a rest. Hey, you know, there's so many good things going on out there. What about them coming out with the extractor manufacturers directions early? That was kind of fascinating. What'd you make of it?
Yeah, that was fascinating. I'm not really too sure what to make of that. I have some thoughts on it, but not yet fully understand it, so I'm not ready to say anything about it.
Well, I keep looking at it, wondering what these people are doing and what's happening. In the meantime, it's summertime here in Ohio.
It is.
And that fresh Ohio-grown corn, I love fresh Ohio-grown corn.
Sweet.
Oh, it's so sweet, and oh, it's just ultra delicious right off the stalk. Ohio's own homegrown. I don't think
the best.
I think everybody on the planet should be allowed to have the financial opportunity to bid to have that experience. It's a shame that we're not going to open that experience up any wider to other people. It's a shame right now we haven't got it in the hands of the people that need it today.
You know, you and I both know that there's going to be a time, and it's not going to be too far from now, where the demand is going to be so great that they're going to have to open up other sources to be able to supply.
They know it. I know it. They want to try and control it.
Oh, yeah.
I get a kick out of it. Controlling everybody, controlling each other. People that are trying to control everybody, imprison everybody. They're dictators, aren't they?
I think they are. I think they are.
When the government becomes a dictator, it's no longer my servant. It's my slave master, and I'm worried about that type of thinking about a militant police. Did you hear about the Black Lives 4 down at the gay festival? What happened?
No. What happened?
It's really a black eye for the city of Columbus, in my opinion. You know, a positive thing for the city of Columbus, in one sense, is that they have one of the biggest gay parades in the United States, and is a pretty well-balanced city on that. In fact, the Supreme Court change that came on marriage came from an attorney whose lover died here in Ohio, and he took it all the way to the Supreme Court and persisted and won. I admire that kind of persistence. I don't think I ever agreed with my other church members about the bigotry, the prejudice, the discrimination that they allowed and perpetrated themselves against people of sexual different genders and so on. But you know, Ohio's had this gay parade for a long time, and it's been one of the biggest in the country. And at the last gay parade, the police brought in the paratroopers and the bats and the batons and mace and started spraying people. That was because 4 people who were making a point stood in front of the parade and intended to stand there for 5 to 10 minutes to make a statement about a certain segment of the gay, transvestite, black community that they think are being abused by the police. And so what did the police do? They came in and proved them right. They came in and abused the hell out of them. And they still haven't dropped the charges, which Stonewall's supposed to be about, gay activism, not gay complacency. So for that part of it, I think the city of Columbus has got a black eye, and we're going to get it worse, because as this keeps being filtered out, it's going to come up that the Columbus police are one of the most killing racial police forces in the United States. And one of the more abusive, I think number 14 or something like that in the United States, listed as most abusive police forces. Not good things for our city image. A lot worse than having a gay parade or having, Black Lives Matter or any of that.
I wonder if there's a correlation. We are now the 14th largest city in the country. You hadn't heard that. We've been promoted. We've grown one. We were 15th largest, and so we are also 14th in discrimination as well.
So that means we're just average at it?
I
No,
guess
we're above average at it. Which goes along with a lot of other things, and part of it is your politicians that are in charge, and how are they talking to you and training your police force? And that's a question we all need to be part of. And thankfully we have the free press here in Ohio, which keeps asking that question once a public review board of all police complaints and attacks and shootings. And I think there should be a public review panel. I'm not sure that there's any other way that you're ever going to get the kind of accountability we need.
I think it makes a great deal of sense to have a public review panel.
And I'm sorry, every policeman needs to be not so quick to shoot. And when it's totally an innocent shooting, there should be no room on the police force for that ever.
You know, there's
no tolerance.
There's been a very large movement in this nation to militarize the police forces in local governments by giving all sorts of munitions and MRAPs and anti-terror
urban assault vehicles.
Right. So what is
sound
what
equipment
is then,
that can blow our eardrums out and knock us unconscious?
What is then the presumed thing that they're supposed to do with these? What?
Well, they got SWAT teams, which
use
are
them against
special
their own
forces,
people?
military trained teams that are meant to be used against terrorists. But if they don't have them, they tend to get used against normal citizens.
That's where I'm going with that. Right.
And that's a shame. And that's what the implications are for the city of Columbus.
I hope
so
not.
We're
better than that.
Well, everybody keeps hoping that we are, and every now and then the big corporations put out a PR piece that makes you actually think, oh my gosh, Columbus has got there. They finally stepped into the 20th century. The only thing is the corporations themselves haven't.
Well, that's
corporations are themselves still doing toxic dumping, abusing people, the civil rights of people, not allowing for a human workplace. They're still doing things like drug testing for employment, and they still have a zero tolerance on medical marijuana when it's medical.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's a real problem. That's
sending
an
a
evolution.
message from Corporation America.
Employers will understand
that we're not a compassionate corporate city, that we are a imprisonment, dog, slave, master, controller city. And I don't think that's who we want to be in the 20th century with our workforce in Ohio.
Well, I don't think we'll succeed if that's who we are in the future.
You've got to tell our out-of-date politicians that. I had a breakfast not too long ago with one of your neighbors, John Houston.
Right.
And tried to discuss with him the over 1,106,000 people in Ohio that voted for medical marijuana, and said, they're a force. If just they get it up an inch and they vote against you, John, do you have a marijuana platform that you would like to communicate to my audience? And he said, well, they ought to be happy with what they got. I said, well, they don't have nothing. You've done nothing but take away their rights. They don't have homegrown. They don't have an immediate patch for their medical needs right now. You make them wait until September 2018. Then you're only addressing a small percentage of them. And the way you're doing it is offensive and distasteful. You got to give up your gun permits, and you got to give up the right to be able to defend yourself. I don't have to do that to take opiates. For goodness sake.
Isn't that the truth?
It's demeaning, and our government in Ohio is starting to act like our dictator instead of like our servant. And that concerns me deeply, and it's often reflected in our police department. I happen to like most of the policemen that I know on the police force personally. I think some extraordinary good people.
Absolutely.
But leadership, it does start at the top. And I thought it was pathetic. I'm a Trump fan, I will tell you that. I'm a big Trump fan. And I'm very bothered by what he said to the police departments of America about, don't worry about putting your hand on the back of the head when you're helping a crook. We know who they are. Get loaded in the car. What he was insinuating is you slap them around a little bit, you teach them a lesson, you kick them in the elbow a few times, you turn off your video camera. That's crap. Anybody that's listening or thinking about that, there was every reason to impeach Donald Trump, those words were. We do not want to Gestapo America. We, the workers, we, the people, we, the little people down here on the street, don't want some bootstrapping bunch of bullies shoving us around and abusing us for their entertainment and pleasure. And Donald, if you think that's what you're talking to, you're wrong, because we, the average American, do not want that. And so I'll speak up and say it as a dues-paying Republican that voted for you in Ohio. You're wrong on that. And the only good amendment for that is for you to totally allow a panel to take a look at the level 1 reality appointed by Congress and do away with this stupidness, this big lie that we tell the whole world. Donald, make amends. Make friends with your constituents again.
Well, the rest of the world has seen through the lie, so we're just telling the lie to ourselves.
Well, yeah, we're delusional. We look foolish in front of the rest of the world with this lie about that marijuana doesn't have any redeeming medical values. Oh my gosh, we've got over 300,000 studies in that software program you and I have been working with.
Yeah, right.
By the way, if you need medical marijuana, if you need medical oil, cannabis, hemp is what it actually is, low THC, that can be transported right now legally across the state line, and you're looking for a premium, triple lab tested source, we can help you. We're walking out there carefully with that because we realize there's over 1 million of you, and if 50% of you start running towards us, our phones couldn't take the pressure. Our email lines couldn't handle the calls. But for those that are out of time, those that are out there desperate, they're wanting to try it, if you know me or you know Fred, you know we're both compassionate people. We don't break the law. We don't believe in entertaining and breaking the law, nor helping other people break the law. We're within the law. That's why we went down and lobbied House Bill 523-2. That's why we put it on the ballot. That's why we've been activists, actively trying to get people to wake up, vote, and pay attention. Activists of our nature are pacifists. We don't break the law. But if you need legal answers, we have them. We'll be glad to help you find them, discover them, reason them out like we have, and who knows.
There aren't many groups out there that have studied this thing like we have.
Oh yeah, there's some smart people out there. I mean, the number of people I'm already watching become millionaires and even billionaires overnight. It's still amazing to me at 67 to see something moving faster than the speed of a cellular telephone or a laptop or Apple or anything.
What would you say the fastest thing that ever moved commodity-wise, product-wise so far? Smartphones? I'm thinking smartphones.
Well, that's in the computer genre in my book. It's just another form of computers. And computers were certainly one of the fastest growing, biggest industries. Right now, the number one in the world. Because Apple's number one corporation. That's what they are, is an IT company. Cell phones and laptops and desktops, etc. But
how do you think that stacks up to what we're looking at in terms of a green rush?
if this goes as big as I think it goes, it will be dwarfed by it. This is going to be that big. I mean, right now I think of it as a plant that's underground trying to get above ground. It's underground in that it's still untaxed, illegal business. It's trying to get above ground to where it can be legal, pay its taxes, absorb the sunshine, and expand. And when this plant starts to get its head above ground and expanding, I think it becomes $1 trillion business very quickly.
Certainly.
Hey,
It's a big number.
we're just supposed to be being humorous and cheeky today, and we're so sober and
We are!
straight.
What's going on?
Listen, we need to sign off and get out of here. We're out of here like a babe.
Careful, careful.
Like a babe. I like it.
That's it, guys.
God
God bless you all.
We don't need to have them that long.